All right, so let's start. Welcome everybody to InterNACHI TV. We're doing a free live online webinar, and I'm hosting this one, which is really nice because we have a special guest, Paul Zak from ACC. He's going to talk about the importance of, well, answering the phone is one of the most important things that a home inspector does. Let me tell you a little secret. We do a lot of phone calls at InterNACHI, and we call up members for like chapter events and local things and national convention and getting your CPI certification in order and things like that. And we call home inspectors up, our members, and a third of them don't even answer, right? And when they do, it's not really professional. So one of the things that I know Paul does is he has a service that helps home inspectors with that. But there's other things Paul does as well in ACC. And Paul Zak is the CEO, current CEO of ACC. And so I want to thank everybody for coming. This webinar is going to be video recorded. It's being video recorded right now. We're going to put it up on YouTube and share it on Facebook and social media channels all over. So if the phone rings, right, answer it, schedule that job, and then you could watch it later. So Paul, I'm going to give you a little click of a button, and something on your side should pop up. Yep, okay. And we see a PowerPoint slide with thank you.
Okay, and if let me go way back to the beginning here, sneak preview. Okay. Now, are you seeing the notes version, or are you seeing the full presentation version?
I'm seeing your notes too.
Okay, then what we can do is switch these babies. How's that?
Perfect. I see just the slide.
Terrific, terrific, terrific. So let me know when you want me to take it away.
Go ahead, Paul.
All right. Hey, Ben, thank you so much. Really appreciate the invitation to do this webinar. And thank you for everyone who is on the webinar now, as well as those who listen to it in the future. Really appreciate your time today. And really all I want to do is add some value to your life. If there's one thing that maybe we talk about today that can add a little value to your life, to your business, then to me that's a home run and a win. The thing I want to talk about with you today is this age-old saying of time is money. You know, we're all business owners, and we've all heard this saying through the years since we were little kids, that, you know, time is money. And it truly is. When you're running a business, time is money. And this is a really important topic, so I'm really glad I have an opportunity to talk about it today. Now, I'm not the world's best business person. I'm going to admit that right out. I'm like the rest of you. I struggle every day with a lot of things in business, so I'm not the know-it-all. But I got to tell you, I've been around the inspection business for many years, many years. And it's painful for me to see inspection business owners who are spending any time at all on things that aren't helping them achieve the business success that they want to achieve. And, you know, this is really made worse by two things. First one is, you know, as business owners, we're all kind of like on an island in a way. We're isolated, really. We're part of a community, which is so awesome, a community within this inspection industry. But really, as business owners, you know, we spend a lot of time trying to figure out what we're doing and solutions on our own, and maybe we have some advice for some people, but it really can get kind of lonely to be a business owner. So that alone, sometimes maybe we're not spending our time on the best things. But also the other thing, and this is what you know, I find kind of disturbing, is there's a lot of bad business advice out there. We're all subjected to it, and even within our own inspection industry, I mean, there's advice that all of us are given, that especially you as inspection company owners are given, that on the surface seems like good advice that makes sense. But really, it's riddled with issues, and it's not doing you doing you good. It sounds reasonable, but it's not. But today, yes, today we are going to talk about ACC and our services. Absolutely, we're going to talk about that. But give me a few minutes, because I really want to talk about a few things, get a few things off my chest that I feel are very important to me, and I want to share it with you, and hopefully there's a little bit of value you get out of that. And yes, everything we're talking about today is going to lead to solutions that ACC can provide you. But let me be totally honest and frank with you about some things I'm seeing in the inspection industry that really have me, we're really greatly concerned about you all as inspection business owners, because I believe there's some things out there that can really help you, and I think there's some things out there that seem like they're helping you, but they actually don't. And I think some of the things I'm going to talk about here are going to ruffle a few feathers with some people, but so be it. That's the way it is. Sometimes the truth hurts, but I just want to help. So let's just jump into time is money, right? So if you do any research on what that saying really means, it's all about opportunity cost. And as business owners, here's how we see that every day. We want to spend our time on what makes us the most money and helps move our businesses forward, right? I mean, that's really what we want. But oftentimes, we're faced with spending our valuable time on this thing or that thing. So should I do activity A or should I do activity B? I can't do both. So which one should I choose? Which one's going to provide the most value to my business? There's good news out there is that there are a lot of valuable activities in your business where you can actually get both A and B done. And we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. That's a double win. But as business owners, time is money, and we're always making choices every day in what we do. And really, what we want to try to do is we want to try to strive to spend our time on what helps our businesses grow and provide the most value and profit to our business. So the key is that we're making sure that what we do as business owners, and we're all business owners here, that we're spending our precious time that, once it's gone, we don't ever get it back, our precious time on those things that are adding the most value to our businesses. What can help our businesses grow the most? What can help our businesses be the most profitable? But there's an alarming trend. There's an alarming trend that I see out there, especially in the inspection industry, that comes to time and how it's being spent. And I see it costing inspection company owners money and business success and a lot of stress. It's holding them back. This trend is hurting their businesses. It's hurting them. It's hurting their families. It's pulling down their businesses from the success they would normally would normally see and would rather see. And this trend is in how inspectors are not spending their time on the most important things. Is partly caused by, I think one of it is, just like all of us as we're running businesses and figure some things out, sometimes we make a few mistakes along the way, but we correct for them and then we get back on the path again. I think that's part of it. But the other part of it, I think, of this alarming trend is caused by those around us who want to lead us down a wrong path away from maximizing our business success in order to maximize theirs. I'm going to talk about that a little bit here too, as well. So this trend. So really three different areas here I see in this alarming trend that as home inspectors, I really want you to, would encourage you to be aware of and beware. First of all, and again, at ACC, we've been serving home inspection company owners for over 20 years now. And I've been involved in it for most of that. And so a lot of this is coming from my own personal experience. I've seen, unfortunately, some home inspectors that are engaged in activities for their businesses that really don't produce a strong return. What I mean by that, like things that are below your pay grade, things that really within your business you really don't want to do, but you feel you have to do it because you're the business owner. Who else is going to do it? But those things are taking away from other activities you could use to be growing your business. They're adding stress to your life. They're sucking up your time. And a lot of ways, and I know I've felt this in the younger days when ACC was back in the younger days, is at times you feel like you become a slave to your business. And none of us really got into the business to feel that way. We want to get into business, feel like we're providing for our families, we're doing good, we're excited about the future. None of us really want to feel like a slave to our business. But so why are we as business owners sometimes doing these less productive chores? I think it's because as business owners, we tend to believe that we must do everything ourselves. I think that comes with being a business owner, is that mindset. We have to break that mindset. But we tend to think we have to do everything ourselves, even if the things that we don't like, and maybe we're not very effective at it. We just figure, well, it's up to us. We got to get it done. Maybe not realizing there's actually help out there that could help us. Also, compounded by bad advice. I think all of us as business owners get good advice from some, and I think we also get some bad advice from others. And that leads us down the path where we're not really using our activities the way we should to help our business get a strong return. The other area I see is that it's a part of an alarming trend is that I see, unfortunately, inspection company owners who aren't valuing their time. They're undervaluing it. They're not organizing their businesses efficiently. They're actually organizing them so it's actually costing them more time and money, but not realizing it. I mean, thinking a lot of times, and I've made tons of mistakes in my business, but so I'm not one to talk. But if we organize our businesses in a way where we're spending more money and more time on things than we shouldn't, well, we'd really like to have someone point that out to us. So I see too many home inspection company owners that aren't valuing their time correctly, and we're going to talk about the value of time here in just a minute, so you can get a better gauge of where you think what your time is worth. The third area here is I think, which is causing this alarming trend, is that too many home inspection company owners are given way too much poor advice, biased advice, and self-serving advice. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. And it's things that we as business owners need to be aware of really understanding what's really good advice for us and what's advice that's really in someone else's interest, but it isn't really in our best interest. So let's take a quick look at what's your time worth as a inspection company owner, as a professionally trained inspector. What is your time worth? And I don't know whether you ever sat down and thought about this, but maybe more than what you think it is. What's your time worth? Through the years, I've had the pleasure of speaking at many inspection conferences to large group of inspectors. I've also done a lot of one-on-one discussions with probably thousands of home inspection company owners. And a lot of times, I'll ask, what do you think your time is worth per hour? And some know the answer to that, and some really haven't thought about it, but then they put a pencil to paper and they add it up. And most of the time it comes out to be between $125 to $175 per hour. Now, you can figure out for yourself. One way you might be able to do it is think, okay, if you look at, your average inspection that you do during a year and what you charge for that, including add-on services, the total revenue for that inspection, and divide it by the amount of time that you put into doing the inspection, including the report, that'll come up with a number that'll get you pretty close to what your time is worth as a home inspector. So if you do that, you go, man, that's a lot of money, right? That's per hour. That's a lot of money. So as an inspection company owner, you're going to want to make sure that you're maximizing the time during the day that you are doing inspections. If you have inspectors working for you, you're going to want to make sure that you're of course, maximizing time they're doing inspections. Okay, a lot of this makes total sense. But if you think about the time what you're worth per hour, that average of $150 per hour, that's really where your time should be spent, with that clock clicking at $150 an hour. So the goal is to maximize, the bottom line is to maximize the time you spend working on inspections, on doing inspections. Okay, so $150 an hour, you may come up with a number a little higher, a little lower, but I'll tell you, whatever that number is, it's a lot of money per hour, and that's really where, as an inspector, you want to be maximizing your time, because that's going to maximize your work. So you want to spend your time wisely. So now, as a inspection company owner, there's actually 3 areas in which you want to spend your time wisely, because time is money. First one we just talked about, doing inspections. You want to do inspections. If you are a single man operation, you want to maximize the time that you are doing inspections, including value-added ancillary services. So termite, radon, sewer scope, whatever the other service, thermal, mold, whatever service you offer, you want to make sure that you're maximizing the time that you are doing the home inspection, with those value-added services added to that inspection. As a business company owner, you always want to make sure you're taking time to work on your business. So we always have to make sure we take time to work on our business. When you're doing the inspection, you're working in your business as the inspector. As the business owner, you need to step out every now and then to work on your business, because you got to be thinking ahead, thinking about what your next move is going to be, what you need to add, what additional services you'd like to add. Do you need additional inspectors you need now? So you want to add those to the mix. You know, working on your business so you can continue to grow and have that sustainable growth, and that will make you more money over time. The third area, of course, is marketing. So key for every inspection company to get out there and market your business for further growth. And this could be you yourself out there marketing, or you might team with a marketing pro that, where you divide and conquer, or maybe you visit agent offices, or you work together on digital marketing, but you market your business, because that's going to fill the pipeline with more opportunity, more money. So spending time wisely as a business company owner, as an inspection business company owner, yes, doing inspections with all the add-on services that apply, making sure you're taking time to work on the business for that sustained growth into the future, and then marketing to fill your pipeline now and for the foreseeable future. That's spending your time wisely, because time is money. But there's time that there's time that's not well spent. There's time where, as an inspection company owner, you're tempted to do things that are really not at your pay grade. They're not at your $150 an hour, or $125, or $170, whatever number you came up with. That is time not well spent when you're not at that level. At ACC, where we have a lot of great experience at this, is the work that we provide for inspectors. Things like answering the phone and lead emails and text message leads, all that. That is important stuff, yes. But if you think about your worth as a home inspection company owner and a professional inspector, that's not the best use of your time. All the effort that goes into booking those inspections, managing your calendar, all the logistics of processing that order so that all the information has been gotten, so the right emails go out, your contract goes out to the client, payment links go out so that everybody knows who's going to be where, access to the home has been gotten, you know who's going to show up and when. All that processing logistics, all that extra work after the booking of the inspection, that's all important work that has to be done. But I think the question we have to ask ourselves is that work that you should be doing? Lead follow-up and management, another key one, right? We all love it when you have a real estate agent that calls you and says, they're one that always uses you. So they call you, they call your office, and they go, okay, let's book them, right? That's perfect. But as part of you growing your business, you're going to bring on more agents that haven't used you. You're going to bring on more home buyers and home sellers that haven't used you, and they're going to call in, and these are leads. And sometimes there's a little phone tag going on, a little email tag going on, a little text message tag going on to follow up on those leads, keep them organized, manage them, and close them. That's, again, very important work, but is it really work that you should be doing at your pay rate? And then there's after the inspection, all the post-inspection related calls and emails and text messages that come in about, I need another copy of the report, I need a copy of the invoice, I have a question about the report, I don't understand this note about the electrical panel, and I have an electrician here on site to fix it. Those kind of things that come in that need to be tended to, because it's all part of the total customer service that needs to be provided for your company. Is that really the best use of your time? When I think about these things, none of those activities are actually making you any money. They lead up to you making money. They lead up to you being on site making the $100 and some per hour, but they do not produce any money in them of themselves. So when I think of it that way, I think if I'm a $150, $125 an hour inspector, what I want to be spending my time on these things when I should be somewhere with the clock running at $100 and some an hour. That's kind of the way I think about it. So to me, this is not time well spent for a home inspection company owner or a home inspector. So if you're not going to do those things, well then who's going to do these things for you? let's take a look at a couple common thinking things and advice that's given to folks. Let's also take a look at some other examples that are really result driven. Let's take a look at a couple. So the first one is, and this is very, very common in the inspection industry, is, utilize your spouse. This is a real viable option. And for some, it works. It works great. I know a lot of home inspection company owners and their wives who team up, and they run awesome inspection companies. Perfect, right? Sometimes, though, that is not always the ideal case. For example,
Paul.
In some case, yes, sir.
She doesn't look very happy.
No, you know why? Here's why she doesn't look happy. Because she joined her husband in the inspection company, but she sacrificed her job or her career in order to do that. So yes, I'm going to team with my husband because I believe in his vision as an inspection company, but I enjoyed my other career better. Or maybe she's not happy because the job that she left or the career that she was in to now be a part of the inspection company, she lost a ton of medical benefits, and she's worried about how she's going to pay for the doctor bills when the kids need their flu shots, Or the other reason she might not be so happy is because when you work with your spouse, sometimes there are issues that could spill over into the relationship. So let me tell you guys a little secret. So at ACC here, 50% owner in ACC is my wife. But if you come visit us here, you'll never see her in the offices. We have 2 locations here in Kansas City, bustling, lots of stuff going on. You'll rarely ever see my wife here in the offices. Why? It's because, we know that if we work together, that we're the kind of personalities that, that would spill over to our relationship would not be a good thing. Now, some of you on the webinar here have probably met my wife, Carissa. She's awesome at conferences. In fact, she will be at the InterNACHI Inspection Fair coming up in June, and I hope you're all going. You all better be there because it's going to be awesome. But my wife travels to those because she helps talk about ACC. But when it comes to daily operations, not involved in the business because we know that's not really a good thing. I'll tell you another secret. So in our 2 locations here in Kansas City, one of them is we own the building. One of the 2 locations we own one of those buildings, and so that building is a separate company, and my wife and I are 50-50 owners, and she manages the building. I don't get involved in that. She manages the building because what's hers is hers, and I don't, that's her responsibility. So I'm a renter. I have to give her the rent check every month for the building because I'm a renter in that building. So that's for us. Now, it may not apply to you if you team with your spouse and it's a great working relationship and she or he wasn't sacrificing another job or career that they're regretting or giving up medical or dental benefits or vision benefits that they could. Terrific. I'm so happy for you because I've seen so many inspection companies where that works out really good. But I've seen some others who have come to ACC because the wife needed to get back to her other job or other career. She was ready to hit the inspector over the head with the phone, say, I don't want to do this anymore. I can't even take a vacation. I can't go to the grocery store because this phone is tied to my hip, So if you had that solution, terrific, but there are some known challenges. Sometimes it's just difficult just to be the boss and not also be the husband and wife. The next option a lot of people, turn to is hiring an employee. Now, this seems to make a lot of sense on the surface. It really, truly does. But I got to tell you, this is so old-fashioned and outdated that I personally don't, if I was an inspection company owner, this is not the route I would go. I imagine, I've talked to so many inspectors through the years, and I have yet to have an inspector tell me that they started their inspection business and started doing inspections so they could manage people, especially phone people and schedulers. There's a lot of headache and stress to that. And I've never known an inspector who really likes that part of it. I've seen inspectors go, yeah, if I'm going to manage anybody, I want to make it fellow inspectors who are working for me and my marketing pros. Those are the people I want to manage. But managing hourly, $10 to $15 per hour phone and scheduling people is not something any inspector, I think, really desires. You know, that's the reason they got into the business. They just think they have to do it because this is the way it's always classically been taught to them. Hire an employee. You know, to me, it's really old-fashioned. Like, remember Blockbuster? Blockbuster, the video store. I mean, they used to be all over the place, right? They were like the Starbucks of their time. They were everywhere, right? You know, there's one left. There's one Blockbuster in the entire world left. It's in Bend, Oregon. Why? They didn't change with the times. You know, they stayed with an old model, and now they got run over by more competitive options, Netflix and the others. So to me, this is the Blockbuster option. Another way I look at this is, if you're going to hire a $10 to $15 hour per person and put up with the finding them, hiring them, training them, the stress and the headaches of when they call in sick and who's going to handle the phones, when they want to take time off, when they leave you for 50 cents more for another job, now you got turnover, you have to rinse and repeat all over again. Let's say you do want to do that. Think about the $30,000 to $35,000 per year you would be paying that person, and what could you do with that money if instead you put it into marketing? You know, a lot of inspectors I've done this exercise with, we've kind of run through the numbers, and if they could take $30,000 or $35,000 and put it into good marketing, effective marketing, they could get $100,000 or $200,000 back in more inspection revenue per year. I think that's really cool. So you got to think about the cost trade-offs with hiring an employee. But like I said, this could be something that you want to consider. But to me, this is the old. There is advice given out there about, yes, you know, when you get to a certain size, you should hire, you know, somebody scheduling on the phone. To me, I'm always like, no, that should not be what you should do, because it is cost heavy, it is stress heavy, and it's loaded with headaches, and it's not really the modern way to structure a inspection company these days. So now there's a third, of course, is, you know, the call center option, right? Now the thing with call centers, and this is a big beware, I have to share with you, because I know everybody in the inspection industry that does call centers, and you know what? They are all so different. You know, none of them are the same. I think to a typical inspection company owner, it's a temptation to think, oh, they're all the same, right? They're all do the same stuff. Absolutely not. And in fact, I have an article that I wrote that kind of breaks all this down. So if anybody ever wants it, just send me a note. I'll send you a copy of it. But call centers are extremely variable, right? And in our industry, the inspection industry, you know, a lot of them are not industry specific. You know, they serve other industries. They're not just for inspection industry. Some, couple are, some aren't. But what comes with that is less knowledge. And that less knowledge leads into, they don't know your routine. They don't know what a home inspector does as well. They don't know how to work with real estate agents. So you're putting them in the front seat with your real estate agents, and you're not really sure you're going to treat them well and understand the life of a real estate agent. They don't know how to work with home buyers. I mean, they're just, you know, they're just people on the phone, you know, give me the data and boom, put it on the calendar, and not really thinking about what they're doing. It results in silly errors, costs you a lot of money, costs you agents who just don't like dealing with that kind of a setup. And also, you know, many don't do the full job for you. I mean, there's no follow-up or cleanup. So what they do for you is they'll get some basic information, throw it on your calendar, and then they leave the rest of it up to you. I call it like a half-baked order that they're going to dump in your lap. And then they're going to make it your problem to have to clean everything up and fix it up, right? So that non-industry specificity, the less knowledge, more work for you, to me, it's why go through all that trouble. It's also costly, and when I say costly, I mean it's costly in terms of real estate agents that won't use you anymore, poor customer service that causes your home buyers and your agents to look at your brand, your home inspection company image, as less than what you want them to. It just kind of hurts your business. And so to me, call centers is an option, but call centers is not the best option, because it's just going to require more effort from you, and it's going to cost you more than you really think. And some services out there will say, hey, we'll do it for you for free. Well, it's the most expensive free that you'll ever spend. Now, there's also full service solutions partners. Now, this is where ACC operates. We operate at this level. We don't see ourselves as a call center. We are not a call center. We are a full service solutions partner. And really what that means is we are focused only on home inspectors like you. No other profession, just you. Being the best office support for you, providing the most full range services, taking as much off your plate as possible, the whole enchilada, right? So highest skilled, most knowledgeable, providing the most value to you. And since we're so focused just on the inspection industry and inspectors like you, we're nearly turnkey. We just need to know a lot about you and your company, your pricing, your service, your geographic coverage area, etc. And then we're ready to go to work for you. And what we cost, your time's worth on average $150 an hour, so you should not be doing this work. If you hire an employee, well, that's $10 to $15 an hour. Okay, well, we talked about that one a little while ago and all the headaches and stress there. But if you take out something like ACC, it's like $2 to $5 an hour average, with more skill, more knowledge, less headaches for you, somebody who can get right into your routine. And what we see, we've done this for 20 years, and typically what we see is when an inspector comes on with us, he'll usually see his revenue go up 15 to 30% after beginning our services. So let me break that down for you. 15% of that, or half of that 15 to 30% is usually from the fact that there were inspections getting away from him or her. Inspections that they couldn't answer the phone in time, the person didn't leave a message. I think a lot of you have been through that routine where they scheduled with somebody else. The other part of it is add-on services, ancillary services. This is something we are so good at ACC, is upselling add-on services. And a lot of inspectors just don't have the time to be able to do that with the caller on the phone, but we do. So that provides additional return. So if you're thinking about, okay, a full solutions partner, okay, this is the most popular, most fastest growing method inspectors are using to help build their business. And why? Well, okay, it's significantly more cost effective, like 50, 60% less than hiring an employee. You don't have the employment hassles and headaches. Those are gone. And then now a full service solutions partner can offer you comprehensive total solutions, offering you the most value without inflated costs or hidden costs. It's all on the table. It's right there in front of you, easy to calculate, easy for you to know what's going on. No shell games, no bundling of services, none of that stuff. It's just totally right there. And at ACC, this is all we do. We don't do it with a bunch of other things. This is all we do. Also, with a full solutions service provider, you got to take a look. Why do inspectors still choose other options then? Like, Paul, this is so great. This is nirvana. Why are inspectors doing other things? I think there's a couple components to that. One of them is, I think there's some inspectors just don't know yet. They just don't realize that this solution is there above call centers. I mean, it's in a category by itself, full service solutions partner. I don't think they realize that that's there. So this webinar is part of hopefully maybe reaching a few more. It's also the outdated thinking of the old-fashioned, well, when I get bigger, I need to hire an employee. And sometimes that is because they're giving bad guidance or simply bad advice. They're told, hey, that's what you should do. Follow this old-fashioned model that's going to provide you more headaches, more hassle, and it's going to be more costly than another solution like a full-service solution provider. And then the other part of it is free. There's confusion out there where some services will say, hey, we'll give you the call center for free, but really it's bundled in with other services and you're never really quite sure what you're paying for. And free is never free. And since this is such a front part of your business, so important, dealing with your agents, your clients, and managing your calendar, doing all this great work for you, free it could be the most expensive free that you ever spent. So please be careful of that, right? And ask very, very good questions of anybody who you would want to partner with. Ask us. We'll tell you everything. The other thing is, I think the third area is where I think why some inspectors haven't chosen this option is because I think we have call centers out there in the inspection industry that are passing themselves off pretending to be full service solution providers when really they're not. And it causes confusion and only adds, I think, to the perception among inspectors that, well, all call centers are the same, and when really it's not. You know, there's different levels of service and value. But you should expect something. You know, here's what you should expect from someone like an ACC, who's a full service solutions partner. First of all, high quality. That should result in more inspections, more add-on services, and for you, and then also so more revenue for you. Also should be giving you time back. That's a big thing. Time back to you, where now you can spend that doing more inspections and working on your business. And providing all that at a cost that you could easily say, wow, I am making 2 or 3 times in revenue than what I'm paying for this service. And that's the numbers we've seen at ACC through the years. An inspection company takes us on. Usually what they end up paying us is only a third, or maybe only 25% of the additional revenue we're getting them in more inspections and more add-on services. In other words, there's a huge return there, a huge financial return, good ROI. That's what you should expect. So a full solution service partner should look like this. And let me use ACC as an example, because I told you I'd talk about ACC. You know, Heritage, we've been doing this for 20 years, serving only home inspectors like you. That's all we do as your trustee office. In our minds, we are your office, right? Nothing else. That's what we are, your office. We'll also see ourselves as a true extension of your business, not operating as a bolt-on service or, heaven forbid, call center. We see ourselves as a full solution provider for you, giving extensive customization, personalizing to your business, and every interaction we have with your agents and clients is as your business. Every detail, every text, every phone call, every email, everything is as your inspection business. A lot of personal support here. You know, besides the team that supports you, you also have an account manager assigned to you, so you get real focused support. We have the best people. Of course, I'm the one that hired a lot of these folks. I'll tell you, this is quality staff. None of these folks here are none of these folks are part-time. They're all full-time, all highly trained at what they do. We don't use part-timers. We don't use kids working their way through school. In fact, the average age of the person here at ACC is probably between 30 and 40 years old. These are all folks who are customer service professionals, how they support their families. So they're all here full-time. The services they provide you, that we provide you, are extensive. We try to take as much off your plate as your office as possible. I'll talk about that here in a minute. And then there's also team size. There's some services out there that will have 20 to 25 people answering your phones. That is not a team, that's a mob. At ACC, we have small teams serving you. So small teams of between 6 to 8 people, and they serve you, they serve your agents, they get to know you really well, they get to know your agents well, all of that as your office. So it's a very personalized, one-to-one, let's build a relationship type service. So what services should be offered? And let me tell you what ACC offers, because this is the example of a full service solution provider, is what ACC offers. First of all, these should be services that just help you transform your business to the next level. We're really big here at strategic partnering, which means for every inspection company we serve as a customer, what we try to do is understand where they want to take their company, what are their goals, and we make those our goals. So we don't treat everybody the same. We treat you according to where you want to take your business, and that's how we apply our service power to you. We customize extensively, for your inspection business. So we're not going to ask you to get into our box. We're going to turn around and climb into your box. Then we're really big on collaboration. So collaboration to us is, we have a lot of exposure to what's going on in the inspection industry because of all the customers we serve and our broad range across the country and through Canada and all the customers we serve. We would love to share with you some business advice if you're interested that could help you understand of services that you might want to get into, or more add-on services you want to get into, or different marketing or growth strategies we've seen work really well for other companies. We'll be glad to share that with you. Of course, keep everything confidential. Won't tell you any names, but we can tell you the principles and practices, the best practices that help inspection companies survive and grow and thrive. Services that give you more control. It's all about you having control over your business. So we're going to be selling and booking your inspections the way you want them done. Handling all your price quotes, shopper callers, really all your top agents, we're going to handle all of them the way you want them handled. We're going to be upselling all your add-on services. We take the time to educate your callers on the services, on the inspection, so they see the value in what you're providing for them. It makes it an easy sale when you do that. Just teach them the value. Once it's booked, we do all that order processing for you. Make sure all emails are gotten, all access is gained, who's going to be there, when, what are the services ordered, what's the pricing, who are the agents, everything, all the way down to are the utilities on. And we will make all the follow-up calls, all the follow-up emails, all the follow-up text messages it takes to your agents and clients to make sure that your orders are ready to go so you don't have to worry about it. You can show up and shine as the professional inspector that you are. Handle all of your leads. So these are services that are going to change your life. We will handle all your leads wherever they come from. Yelp, Home Advisor, from your website, from your online scheduler, from wherever your leads come from. We follow up on those, track them, and turn them into booked inspections for you. General customer service, we're going to provide that to you, especially after the inspection. It's not done with the inspection. You guys all know that. There's a lot of stuff that comes up after the inspection, and we will handle that. If you use ISN, we will make sure we run all your credit card payments for you. We resend confirmation emails. We deliver inspection reports for you, trying to provide as much service as possible to you so you can focus on doing more inspections and growing your business. We can even help you with competitive research. So we do secret shopping calls for you. So you tell us the competitors, we secret shop them, and then we turn around and provide you what we find out. So you can help fine tune and run your business. That's part of the collaboration that we do for you. So a full service solution partner like an ACC is always going to give you more. We're really proud of ourselves in giving you a lot more because we want to help your business success. More inspections, more add-on services, more revenue. Again, 15 to 30%. Your inspections, your add-on services, your additional revenue should be going up 15 to 30%. We'd love to provide that for you. We want to give you more time back, more freedom, more control over your business so you can focus on being the inspector that you are and the business owner that you are to help take your business to the next level. And we're going to be your partner in doing that. 10 to 20%, 15 to 20% of your time can be given back by us stepping in and helping you out with our thorough range of services. So let's think about it. Let's move your inspection business to the next level, just as many hundreds of inspection companies already have. We'd love to add you to that and help you take your business to the next level, help you give you some time back, help you get additional revenue, and together take you to a new level of success. So your time is money. So let's spend it wisely. Your worth, look at you guys are worth a lot of money per hour. Let's maximize that. The hourly rate, time is money. We're not going to cost you very much, but we're going to provide you a lot of revenue, 15 to 30%. Time given back 15 to 20% so you can grow your business. Just delegate these things to us. We will take care of them lock, stock, and barrel, and together we can get your business to the next level. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate your time today. Just call or text us at the number on the screen here. You can visit our website and contact us there, or you can send us a direct email to your office at americascallcenter.com. We're here for you all the time. We'd love to be a strategic partner to take your business to the next level and help give you time back, help remove the confusion out there, all the bad advice and things going out there. We want to help you with the best. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you so much. That was really great. There are a couple questions. Do you have any time for a couple questions?
Oh, sure. I sure do.
So Ryan asked, can you give any examples of activities to go along with your first point of in your slideshow about wasting time? It's probably talking about all the low skill, low importance activities that an operator or owner of a home inspection business thinks that they have to do themselves.
Oh yeah, the one we focused on the most is handling all the phone calls, all the emails, all the text messages, handling all that, as well as once the order is booked, all the arrangements and logistics that have to go into making sure that everything is ready to go for that inspection order. Those are all things that an inspector at $125, $175 an hour should not be doing. It can be done that's secretarial work, that's admin work that we at AC can do with them in flying colors. So those are the activities that we see inspectors spending a lot of time on, that is really below their pay grade and is not adding as much value to their business as if they were taking that time and using it, doing more inspections or out there marketing their business. Let us handle all that lesser admin secretarial stuff that's very important to do, but the inspector himself should not be doing it.
Yep. You know, one of the biggest mistakes a home inspector can make is thinking that he or she has to do everything themselves. That might be true maybe in a very early startup, but eventually you have to learn how to delegate down. Another question from Bruce is, he says, I see the advantages, especially for a one-stop shop. What is the pricing based on? I think you mentioned the pricing, but maybe go over that again real quick.
So our pricing, we customize to each inspection company because they're all a little bit different. If it's an inspection company who hasn't been in business very long, maybe just started very recently, we have a beginning inspector rate. If it's an established, one inspector shop that's been around for a while and is building up some volume, we have a different rate for that. So we customize price for that. And then if it's a multi-inspector company, well, then we custom price all our multi-inspector companies because they're so variable in the number of inspections and the number of inspectors involved. So we custom price all multi-inspectors. For the beginning, let me go back to the beginning. For the beginning inspector companies that are just starting out, the monthly base rate is $219 per month, and the per appointment fee is $21. And that $21 per appointment is only for those appointments where we book them and we do all the follow-up and you actually complete the inspection on site. So I guess what that really means is no charge for inspections that cancel. For the one inspector shop who's established, the monthly base rate is $335 and then $21 per completed appointment. Again, only those inspections you actually complete, no cancellations. And then for, like I said, multi-inspector, we custom price those because both multi-inspector companies are so variable in their volume and their inspectors, and we want to make sure we're not overpricing them. So we love to give them customized price quotes just by asking them a couple of questions, like how many inspectors, what's the average volume of the company. We can pretty much get them to a fair price for our services and not end up overpricing them.
Yep. I love the last several slides you have of all the services. I didn't realize, I apologize for that. I didn't realize that you guys do so much. It isn't just answering the phone. It's a full service company that you run. That's really amazing. We have another question. Do you find small shops wait until they're overwhelmed, or is this something a beginning inspector can use to grow their business?
What an awesome question. That is a terrific question. Answer is both. So we see a lot of cases where an inspector will come to us and he's like, I know I'm missing calls. I'm overwhelmed. I don't have any time left in the day because if I'm not taking a phone call, I'm trying to do other stuff. And so he'll join up with us and so we take a lot off his plate, but also get him all those inspections he was probably missing because he was just way too busy to answer the phone. Now, for beginning inspection companies, we actually see a lot of beginning inspection companies join us as well. And the reason why, even though they might not even have done very many inspections yet, the reason why is because they want it as a competitive advantage. They want to be able to go to their agents and say, hey, here, I'm so-and-so, here, call my office. I'd love to be able to do some work for you. And just the fact of saying, call my office, they're not a beginner anymore. That real estate agent now looks at them as, boy, I haven't heard of you before. You have an office? Nobody has an office. This is really cool. Agents love inspection companies with offices. So those beginning inspectors use us as a competitive tool at the very beginning in order to differentiate themselves from everybody else in town and give them a leg up.
Exactly.
Because real estate agents love it when an inspector has an office, a full service office that can take care of everything, because it makes their jobs easier. If you make a real estate agent's job easier, they will use you hands down over anybody else.
Hey, do you have one more? Do you have time for one more question, Paul?
As much time as you need, Ben. I'm here for you, buddy.
So Justin asks, what about taxes? Are you considered an employee of ours?
Oh, that's another great question. Absolutely not. We are considered a total 100% expense. You can put it on as an expense against your business, and it reduces your taxes.
Right.
No employee taxes at all.
Paul, thank you so much for being with us on NACHI TV, where we do a bunch of free webinars just like this, so we can help inspectors grow their business and make more money and be successful and enjoy their precious time that you mentioned. 2 URLs on the screen, if you can see them, it's NACHI.tv, that's where we are right now, and americascallcenter.com, that's where Paul and all the good folks in ACC are located. Feel free to contact America's Call Center, ACC, and I think it's just a fantastic service that you're doing for everybody. Thank you so much, Paul, and I'll see you at the National Convention.
Yes, man, thank you. And all of you, I look forward to seeing you at the Inspector Fair coming up in June. Stop by and say hello to us, but Ben and the crew are going to put on an awesome country. If it's anything like what Atlantic City was last year, Ben, it's going to be a really kick-butt time. So I know you guys got a lot of good stuff planned. I hope everybody on this webinar is going to be there because you don't want to miss it. And stop by ACC and say hello while you're there.
Awesome. Thank you, Paul. Bye, everybody. Stay safe.
Thank you, Ben.
See ya. Bye.
Thank you again, everybody.